हिम्मत मर्दा मदद खुदा ये आज मोहम्मद सिराज ने कायम कर दी है। 5 टेस्ट मैचों की सीरीज, 25 दिन की टेस्ट क्रिकेट और फाइनली इसका रिजल्ट आया है 2-2। मतलब आप क्या समझ सकते हैं, जब ये सीरीज स्टार्ट हुई थी तो सबने ये इंग्लैंड को फेवरेट दे दिया था कि इंग्लैंड तो एशेज की तैयारी कर रहा है। वी रिमेंबर्ड अ कोट फ्रॉम ग्रेम स्वान, ही सेड वी आर टेस्टिंग आवर स्क्वाड अगेंस्ट इंडिया फॉर एशेज। और आज देखें कि किस हाल में है इंग्लैंड, के 2 टेस्ट मैच बनाए हुए उनसे नहीं जीत पाए। पहला टेस्ट तो बहुत अच्छा जीता, फिर उसके बाद खोस ही गई इंग्लैंड। लॉर्ड्स का भी जो टेस्ट मैच इंग्लैंड ने जीता था, वो भी एंड पे आकर वो जडेजा और सिराज की पार्टनरशिप अच्छी जा रही थी, वो बॉल टिपल करता हुआ लॉर्ड्स में आउट हो गया। तो ये सीरीज ना याद रखी जाएगी अपनी फायरनेस के लिए, अपने ड्रामा के लिए, अपनी कंपेटिटिवनेस के लिए। और बहुत ही मजे के इसमें हमें मोमेंट्स देखने को मिले। बेस्ट मोमेंट्स की भी बात करेंगे, सही तरह इसको एनालाइज भी करेंगे कि कौन अच्छा था, बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंसेस की भी बात करेंगे। क्योंकि मेरे साथ एक मेरा बहुत अच्छा दोस्त है जो कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया से हमें ज्वाइन करता है। ही ऑलवेज गिव्स मी टाइम whenever he is available. It's around about, I think, midnight in Australia, but he is there for me. His team is not playing, but he is there to boil England. He is there to throw some balls at England because England will be playing their next test against Australia, November, Ashes, Perth, of the stadium, who has been booked. And Ben Stokes saying that it is the best team which will tour Australia in the recent time. He has said recently in an interview. So big statement from Ben Stokes and Baz McCallum. It will be interesting. First of all, I want to welcome Lucas. Lucas, how's everything? And how do you look at this legendary Anderson Tendulkar trophies? What are your freaking thoughts on this trophy?
Well, thank you, Mohammed. I'm always a pleasure to give time for you and your show. Thank you for having me on. Doing well, thank you. Yeah, what an amazing series this was. Unbelievable. We want more. We want more. Well, maybe we should have another extra test, a 6-test series, just to decide who wins this series. But no, this was unbelievable, fantastic. This is probably the as far as a 5-test series goes, just 5-test series. This is probably the best since the 2005 Ashes. This was outstanding, drama everywhere, on the field, off the field, fantastic for cricket.
Exactly. It was fantastic for cricket. And mate, there was a picture going around in my mind that the third test, you remember when Siraj got out and the whole England team ran away towards Shoaib Bashir, and today's picture when Siraj got rid of Gus Atkinson. Like, what a beautiful sport it is. Mitchell Stark type of athletes are here for you, who just gives everything for this format. He gives everything. He leaves IPL contracts. He leaves money. He leaves everything to serve Australian cricket for test. And this is what we crave for. We crave for exclusivity. We crave for undeniable athleticism. We crave for determination. And this is what we have shown in this series. You saw there were a lot of things that were going bit and around. It was a young leader, Shubman Gill, when there was no Virat, no Rohit Sharma, no Ravichandran Ashwin, but still they stood up. Shubman Gill was the pick of the batters. He was the best batsman of the series. India had a lot. England had a lot as well, but I think England was a little bit on a luckier side and little bit on a one-man show from Ben Stokes, because this man was bowling around, this man was lifting up. You can disagree with a lot of things of Ben Stokes, but the fight Ben Stokes gives to his team, the pride he takes towards his nation, he is just a freaking bloke when he comes to the fight. And Joe Root, no words to him. What a great test batter he is, chasing Sachin Tendulkar record, but I don't think so. He will be chasing that record because England player doesn't chase records; they leave records. But it will be interesting if he gets record. So it was a blockbuster series. It was everything. Everything was in there. I have seen a series of Money Heist. UFC saw as well. It was a type of series like that. Twist and turn, twist and turn, twist and turn. There were a lot of speculations around India's bowling in the absence of Bumrah. But Mohammed Siraj, a warrior, a man to be praised now, a man to be recognized now. There was a lot of stuff that happened in the series. Let's come straight to the point, mate. The today day, England got the heavy roller, and you saw Gautam Gambhir and Lee Strostic fight as well before the test. England was taking advantage, or what? I don't get it, or I don't claim it. Okay, let's come to the point. But I'll say one thing, that tomorrow they should have played, but the groundsman had something in it. He was going under the skin of Gopi, and he got the heavy roller as well, a very heavy roller today. But God had written that it is Mohammad Siraj Day. Mate, just tell me, what is this guy? Mohammad Great Siraj.
Yeah, we talk about the India's best bowler. You know that's no doubt that's Jasprit Bumrah. But for me, Siraj is the heart and soul of that bowling lineup. The energy that if the energy that he brings to the dressing room, you know, he's flamboyant. He gets in the face of opposition. I've got no problem with that, to be honest. Um, the way he conducts himself, he is relentless. You always know what you're going to get with Siraj. If you put him in the Australian bowling lineup, if you put him in the England bowling lineup, you know exactly what you're going to get from him. Relentless, positive energy. He's always going to give you 110%. And this series, you know, this was coming of age. You know, he was absolutely magnificent. This is now twice he's done this in England. Twice. Did it last time they travelled to England, where he picked up wickets while England were also chasing a victory. So he's done this now twice. To do that without Bumrah, you know, that is absolutely incredible. He had a bad BGT this summer against Australia, and there was question marks about his form. This series, he was unbelievable today and last night in particular. What impressed me the most was his seam movement, his swing. He got a little bit of reverse swing, so reverse swing coming out. The way he was able to pitch on middle stump and go away from the batsman, he was unbelievable. And he picked up 5 wickets, a 5-wicket haul in the last series of Test match in the last innings. Is absolutely ridiculous. He was very good, very, very good today. Siraj, good this whole series. The bowler that he is, you know, people. It's a shame he acts like that. Like I said, I don't have a problem with it, but people forget how skillful he actually really is with the ball. You know, with Siraj, they think, oh, he's flamboyant, he gets in the faces, it's not good. He's a really
But
skillful bowler.
do you don't think, Lucas, it is the way he lives his life, it
Yeah.
is the way he approaches, and it is the boost factor. If you saw an Australian cricketer, a legend, salute to him, no one is greater than him. When Shane Warne got triggered, the living legend
Yeah.
Shane Warne,
Yeah.
he was at his best.
Yeah.
He was just owning the opposition.
Yeah.
And I think Siraj wants that trigger. Just like Kohli, some individuals drive from that trigger force. Whenever opposition gets some tongue, that Zach Crawley moment in the third day of the third test match, when things were getting boiled up. So Siraj got triggered from that day. And from that day, he was just saying that I am the lead of the pack. I don't know Jasprit Bumrah. Jasprit Bumrah is not fit. I am here to serve my country. And I think this is one thing that drives him. And this is one thing that Siraj approaches in his entire life. We have seen him as well.
And I think cricket needs a character like Siraj. I think sometimes we can be too robotic. We can be too placid. You know, the energy that Siraj brings, I think we need in cricket, especially Test cricket, where, you know, in regions Test cricket is dead / dying, and the way every time he bowled today, you saw the Indian crowd go up. They were bringing their voice, and you know, Siraj's attitude is basically, you know what, come with me, but I'm going to put you on my shoulders, and I'm going to bowl my heart out. And that's what he did this series. You know, Jasprit Bumrah didn't play for 2 tests, so Siraj had to. It's such a big responsibility to cover Jasprit Bumrah. You need to bowl the overs that he would bowl, and B, you're not gonna match Jasprit Bumrah as far as the talent goes, but at least cover him a little bit. And he was fantastic today. I think I think that's who he is as a character. He wants to engage with people. Now we saw in the BGT, with Travis Head, where he got out Travis Head. He did that celebration, annoyed a lot of people. But I think he needs that in his game. He needs that to perform. I think he likes being a villain. Now, yesterday when he dropped that catch, he was under all sorts of pressure. He dropped that terrible catch against Book. Book made 100. The pressure that he would have went through was unreal, through the roof. And to bounce back from that's even more impressive. He could have just lost the plot. He could have bowled wides. He could have just really bowled bad. But to do what he did after dropping that catch, where it seemed all was lost, that was unbelievable. And a lot of people will forget how good a skillful bowler, like I said, he is, and what he did today compared to what he did yesterday when he probably lost the game for them. That's something that needs to be heavily respected. But this today was his day. Unbelievable player today, Siraj. And like I said, you need this in Test cricket. A character like this is a must for Test cricket.
What a bowler, genuinely what a bowler he is. And do you know the fact that he has bowled 1113 deliveries? 1113 deliveries in these 5 Test matches. Immense fitness, immense mental fitness, unbelievable physical fitness, relentless attitude, and still the last ball he bowled in this series to Guest Atkinson, he was firing up with 140 kph, and he set an example for some of the bowlers, like in Pakistan as well, like Shahinshah Afridi, who rest, like a lot of bowlers who don't give Test cricket that much respect or who don't throws himself. Yes, Jasprit Bumrah is another case. He has a fragile body like Jofra Archer. They can play 5 tests. But Siraj is made of iron. He is made of something else, brother. He's made of something else. And it is a long way to go. A long, long way to go. This man is going to do a lot of stuff for us Indian cricket in the upcoming time. There will be a lot of stuff that Siraj will be doing. Okay, mate, it's Siraj, and now let's come to the batter of the series, Shubman Gill. Describe him. What freaking things he has done as captain and as a batter.
Yeah, his batting performance is absolutely ridiculous. But it's the 4th Test which really stood out for me, where he made that 100 to save the match.
In the hat-trick ball.
Hat-trick ball, and then to hit 100 in a saving Test match. That for me is so much. But I think that's probably his best ever 100. I can't think of a 100. Not just in England.
It's greater. It's a great innings. It's a more greater innings if we see the context of the game than that Gaba 90 when he was young.
Yeah, absolutely. That hat-trick balls, seeming friendly conditions at that time, to get through that and then make 100 and to save a match. That was unbelievable. That's what stood out the most. Yeah, he scored that 200. He scored that 100 early in the Test match, 700 runs. But that's what separates good cricketers from great cricketers. When you can go in under a lot of pressure, huge amount of pressure. He doesn't make that 100. They don't win. They don't draw this series. So they don't draw that match, and they don't draw this series. So to stand up to that kind of pressure, that is unbelievable. That separates the good batsman from the great. And he's had an excellent series, and in Australia, he got bet up a little bit by the Oz bowlers. He's taken over Kohli and Rohit the leadership. That's very tough to do. I thought at times his leadership was a bit poor. At times, he was very good today with the captaincy. Very, very good. He kept on. He could have brought on Deep, but he recognised that Deep was tired from the last day. Not quite there. He kept Krishna. He kept on Siraj, and he kept what I liked about his captaincy today. He could have easily taken the new ball. There's a lot of captains that would have taken that new ball. Now, if you remember early in the series, there was a moment where he wanted to change the ball because it got too soft. That was, I think, Test number 3, where it was to Reddy.
Yeah, it was test number 3.
Netich Reddy was bowling very well to Joe Root. Netich Reddy was getting a lot of shape, and Shubman Gill decided to change the ball. I thought that was really bad captaincy. You don't do that. Yes, the ball's gone soft, but you're swinging it, you're seaming it. Today, he corrected himself, so he realised that was the wrong thing to do at that time, and he decided, you know what, we're going to keep the old ball because it is swinging and moving around. His field placings today was absolutely brilliant. England's plan today, I'm sure we'll get into, was bad, was horrible. McCallum came out and said, you know what, well, we wanted just to end this quickly. Shubman Gill out-coached Brendan McCallum with his captaincy. So Brendan McCallum said to his players, you know what, let's go for it. Let's get the runs as soon as we can. And Gill said, you know what, how about you bowl a 4th 5-stump line? Let's give them what they want. And they felt like a deck of cards, England. So that was really good captaincy. But back to his batting, a tremendous series. Almost bet Steve Smith's record of the 2019 Ashes. Probably just shows you, that Steve Smith series was unbelievable because Gill's had an unbelievable series with the bat. But today, I think, was the coming of age of Shubman Gill, the captain. And that's really crucial that he learnt from his mistakes from the 3rd test and then he's applied them here. That separates good captains from great captains. And today, he was excellent with his captaincy today, Shubman Gill, and he's been excellent with his batting this series.
He has been an excellent, promising prospect. If you look at the complexion, Virat was not there, Rohit was not there, Ravichandran Ashwin was not there. The team was in transition. They lost the test match in the final day, 374, got chased down. And the second test they won, Shubman Gill scored. So it wanted a lot of courage. And if you look at the things, how it got unfolded, do you remember what Shubman Gill said in the first press conference when he got in England, that I want to be the best batter of this test series?
Yeah.
And he freaking did it. He did it. He owned it. And he was not averaging good in Senna, 29, 28, a poor BGT, a poor test series in the last outing in England. But this time when he got the opportunity and he got the responsibility, this is an important point. He stood up with a captain, with a leader who wants to do good things, who wants to do things for the country to be proud of. And that is what I liked about Shubman Gill. I liked about him as a leader. I liked what he did. And there were a lot of things as well, Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul, and other stuff as well. But if I took a standpoint, it was one of those things. I think Shubman Gill and Mohammed Siraj, these were the 2 standpoints for me for the entire series for India. But there were things a lot. Rishabh Pant bravery was immense. Freaking, he got out to bat with a broken toe, but still he was there with determination and courage, and that thing stood out as well. KL Rahul had a good outing. He got some runs. Jaiswal got 100 in the first, 100 in the last. He got some runs as well. So it is a good start. I think it's the new chapter of Indian cricket. Virat Kohli is a phenomenon. You know how big a brand, how big a man, how big an icon he is to cricket. He is the, I think, seller of cricket. Olympics is happening because of him. This is because Virat Kohli has existed. You can't deny the fact, Lucas. If you have any kind of, anyone have any kind of complications or any kind of disbeliefs in Virat, you can't deny the fact that Olympics has been introduced because of the man Virat Kohli. He was not there. He is the flag bearer of Test cricket. Rohit Sharma was not there, a senior guy, the big brother of Indian cricket. Ravichandran Ashwin, the magician, 20 years of first class experience, not there. So it had to be India's courage that would have stood up. It was the courage after a poor BGT where they got 3-1 and then coming back. And I think the scoreline doesn't justify it because they would have won that first test as well. and the third
Yeah.
test as well, it would have been 4-0 to England, because England doesn't deserve a single test match to be one off. Let's come to England. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I will credit them. Yes, Ben Stokes is on above of all of the things, but I don't think England played immense great cricket. They played their
Mhm.
baseball style. Yes, they got things in the way. They played good cricket in tantrums, like in the Manchester Test, where they got India out on a good pretty score, where they got those first 2 wickets. And in the Lord's Test, they played that 2 sessions, the last session of the day 4 and the first session of day 5. The wicket got deteriorated and they Jofra bowled a good spell. But England didn't dominate it like India. Yes,
Yeah.
India slipped a lot of things. Both teams were slipping around, but I think if I have to pick a team because the series is drawn, I would pick India because they were too young. They were playing away. They were not with their senior players. England had all of their resources. Yes, their bowling was not their full strength, but Ben Stokes was doing good. But the excuses, the high morality, the media, the things that we are ready, yeah, Ashes, yeah, we are absolutely ready. Like these are the things England, and I think they're still not ready for that Ashes because they will not get flat decks. And I hope Australia don't give them flat decks this time. Perth should be a green top. Everything. If they play on green top, they will be exposed badly. Everyone knows. Yes, they have Master Joe Root, but Joe Root has runs all over the globe. He don't have runs in Australia. He don't have a single century in Australia. Joe Root is a living legend. We salute to him. We bow
Yeah.
down to his greatness. He's a great, great cricketer. He's the legend, living legend of Test cricket. He's one of those guys which can score anywhere, but in Australia he struggles with the bounce. He struggles with that outside off stump angle, which Cummins will create and exploit. Scotty B will be there as well. So, how do you think these 5 test matches? Some great things as well happened. Some youngsters also stood up for England, like Jamie Smith. Josh Tongue was a little bit of stuff as well, and I think it had to be Ben Duckett as well. Some of the tests he played good as well, and Ben Stokes was truly the lone warrior for England, and he stood up for England at every time. So how do you sum up, mate, of England, and how are you looking at their combination, and how you are looking their mantra towards going to the big test series, the biggest test series coming up for us,
Uh,
November, the great actually.
as a series with this series here, I was disappointed with England today. I was really disappointed. As I said, Brendan McCallum, did his press conference and said, "Well, we just told him just to go out there and try to get it as quick as he can." Jamie Smith is no mug with a bat. Jamie Smith has a fine average. He's got an excellent technique. He is more than just to go out there and see what happens. Try to get it as much as he can. Play some damn defense, man. Any chance of that? They were horrible when they batted today, England. Everything that was off stump, they wanted to try to blast for 6. There was no footwork. The Jamie Smith dismissal when he advanced down the wicket and try to blast it over the covers. That was a terrible shot. They are so much better than that. And I'll put a question to this: if Joe Root was overnight, do you think Brendan McCallum would say to Joe Root, "Get it as fast as you can"? Not a chance in the world. Not a chance. So what does that do to a batsman like Jamie Smith? Well, geez, I've got a defense. Don't you trust me to keep him out? That's really poor by the coach. That's really poor tactics for me. So, like I said, there's talks Jamie Smith could bat behind Root at 4 or 5. That's how good he is. And to go out and say, you know what, just get it as quickly as you can, I think that's really poor. That's just rubbish from Brendan McCallum. As a series, I agree with you. I thought India should have won this series. I think they should have won the first test. I thought India played the better cricket as a whole. But that's the way it goes sometimes. 2-2, probably a fair result. Both teams, had chances to win the series, not just India. England also had a few chances. Remember the draw series that Gill made that 100 and they batted all day. That was England's chance. The first test was India's chance. So they both had chances to win the series. So I think a 2-2 is fair, but I think India played the better cricket. Now for the Ashes, that I agree with you completely with green tops. Now, when they lost to India the second time they lost to India when Smith and Warner were back, that was a hard wicket series. That was almost like a line in the sand, which means that they wanted to change everything domestically. So they had hard wickets where they were scoring, 500 wickets in there, 500 runs on day 2, day 3 in their Sheffield Shield match. That now changed. There were 2-day Sheffield Shield matches because they were producing green tops. This was after the Indian series, after they lost that series. So they changed everything. We saw the Brisbane Test match against South Africa, where there was a complete green top, ended in 2 days. The BGT series, that was a green top series. Now, they lost the first test. Now, let's not forget that. They did lose the first test. What was the pitch like in the second test? Green top. So they stuck with their plan. So they thought, no matter what India do, we're gonna produce green tops. I think what they will do for the Ashes, I think they'll produce green tops. I think they're going to dare England, which they've got huge problems with their top order. So do Australia. Let's be fair, Constas, Labuschagne, Green, Khawaja, they're a mess right now. But so do England. So I think they're going to say, you know what? Let's play fire with fire. They did that with Bumrah. They got away with it. Let's do that in the Ashes. Let's produce 5 green tops. And I can honestly see Mitchell Starc. Now, do you remember the last Ashes series where Mitchell Starc bowled Rory Burns for a duck, and that was it for England? They were done. That just showed you how done they were in that series. I think Mitchell Starc will be looking at Zach Crawley, first ball of that series, and be thinking, right, I'm going to bowl the biggest Yorker, and I think I can absolutely bowl him here. In comes Ollie Pope. I think I can bowl him the massive in-swinging Yorker. England 2 down in the first over.
Why is that Ashes first ball is so curiosity? Like we saw Zach Crawley sitting up 4, and then we saw the Ashes is fun. You guys, it's like India-Pakistan thing because we guys share the same culture, we guys share the same language, we guys share the same tradition, we guys share the same stuff we do around. And I think Australia, England as well. You guys also have some rift on politics, economy, cultures, and Australia and England always is fighting around. So it's good. The common everything is a war if Australia and England plays. So Ashes is one thing that shows the whole picture of an Australia-England war. And coming back to it, mate, I think England is not a 2021 side. They will not be like 4-0 this time, 5-0 this time. They will not be like totally dominated. There will be fight around because this England team I have seen, they have a lot of spirit. They fight till the last ball. They don't give up. I have see this thing because of Ben Stokes. I see that this England team will play better in the last 3 previous series. The last time England won in Australia, 2011. How many tests they won? 2 or 3? I think they won 2.
Yeah, but no, they haven't won a test since that. Since they won the Ashes, they have not won a test. They've drawn 2 tests. They haven't even won a test.
I am assuming, looking at the Ben Stokes era and Ben McCullum era, if they get that bouncy tracks, Zach Crawley is a great batter of bounce. If he comes up with a bounce, he's a great batter. Ben Duckett also plays those uppercuts. Root is a problem there. Root will have to sort out things there. Harry Brook, but Root is in his form of his life. Anything can happen. Root can break the jinx of the 100. Harry Brook can come and just scoop around Scotty B or Cummins. We don't know. It will be exciting. It will be very exciting. Full houses. It will be exciting how it gets up. But I see England winning at least one test this time. England will win one test. And I want a rational and want a more logical answer on this. But you have to give your bowling. Will Markwood will be fit going into the test series? Will Jofra will be fit? Because Markwood and Jofra will do things for you. Nobody can do it. And Gus Atkinson is also a good lad, but he will be good in ping ball. I think when the bobble seam and the scramble will come and the Sydney test. Josh Tongue, if he puts his length right, he can be a good bowler in Australia. A good bowler, I can say. So a
Yeah,
lot of things to worry about for England, but still I see overconfidence. Still I don't see baseball as a positive approach. I see little bit of overconfidence that we will do it. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Let's play. This thing
I've,
can be a
I've
positive side as well. This thing can
yeah,
convert into a positive side, but this thing can convert into a negative side as well. There are two sides of the perspective.
yeah. In order to beat Australia in Australia over a 3, 4, 5 test series, why not? You have to do two or three things. You have to captain really well. And we saw that with Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. You know, even when Kohli went home, KL took over, captained really well. Second thing is you have to match their batting. If they score 400, you're going to have to get 500. If they score
Exactly.
600, you're going to have to score 700. The third thing is you have to take 20 wickets. You have to take preferably 11 wickets in the first innings. So if you make 300, you're going to have to bowl them out for 200. So those are the 2 out of 3 things you need to do to beat Australia and Australia. India have done that brilliantly over the last 7 years. They won there twice. England, they do one thing good, but they don't have the batting. That's their problem is the batting. Now
No, I
they've
think
got good
that's the
bowlers.
bowling. I think they'll be good in batting, but the bowlers will be more worried, I think. But this time around,
I think they,
Australia's batting is not the best.
yeah.
We are
I think England's bowling's good. I really do. The problem is that Ben Stokes was poor with his captaincy this year, this series. As much as he's good with the ball, good with the bat, his cap he dried his bowlers out of gas. He just bowled him into
Are
the
you
dirt. He didn't
saying on
rotate
the
them.
Manchester test because of the Manchester test he
Yeah.
played
So
2 days?
so he yeah. So he brought in Jofra Archer right in the second test. Jofra Archer was supposed to be 10 overs. He bowled 40 overs in 2 test matches back to back. Wokes played all 5 test matches. What happens to Wokes? We got injured. You know, Carson. You know,
And I
in that
think,
fourth test,
and Lucas, I think it's the last test Vokes has played for England, most probably.
yeah, it well could be. He won't be playing for the Ashes, which is also a blow because if Australia do produce green top pitches, he's going to be very, very good. But he's not. He's been probably ruled out for the series. That Carson, I think, is a very good bowler, but you need to manage them. Now, when India bet Australia, Tim Payne was the captain. He didn't manage his bowlers. If you remember the Sydney Test, Hazelwood, Cummins, they were absolutely gassed by the Brisbane Test, and the Brisbane Test, Payne walked all over them, and that felt like that. You know, this series, he didn't manage his bowlers. You got to do that in Australia. This is part of being a good captain. In order to be in Australia, you need to be a good captain. That's not good captaincy. Just bowling, you know, Wokes bowled all 5 tests. Carson bowled 40 overs across 2 tests. That's ridiculous. Now, I can't. It's a miracle they got away with injury. It's a miracle. It's a miracle only Chris Wokes got injured because that's just ridiculous. Stokes himself picked up a hamstring problem, picked up an arm problem because he bowled 15 over spells. That's ridiculous. You cannot do that in Australia because Australia, you know, they're going to rotate their bowlers. They're going to bring in Scott Boland. You know, we know this. You know, they did that in the West Indies series. So they rested Lyon. You know, they haven't rested Lyon since 2012. You know, and they brought in Boland. So they're going to do this stuff. England, Ben Stokes has to be really, really good in rotating his bowlers if you need to win in Australia. I didn't see that. This series. He was really poor in that department.
And Lucas,
India,
one thing as well. If we see England is struggling against a bowler like who nips around into the stumps and goes towards the batter, I know he will not play, but he is my favorite test bowler right now. He's my favorite bowler right now in this current era. Jasprit Bumrah, sorry, I respect him.
yeah,
But right now, my favorite bowler is Scotty B. I love the guy because he
yeah,
owned my idol, Virat Kohli. He owned him like anything
yeah,
else. And Scotty B is a man. He sleeps, he wakes up, works hard, he sleeps. He sleeps, he wakes up, work hard, and sleeps. They just believe in working hard. Just go and ball relentlessly. He will be balling. He will be balling. He just knows balling. He just knows
Yeah,
run and ball, run and ball.
yeah,
Scotty B should play the Perth, the Adelaide, the Brisbane, and the Melbourne and the Sydney, five of the test. I want
yeah.
Scotty B to play that, but I don't see that happening.
I, I can't imagine if they did produce green top pitches, and Scotty Boland was playing. I can't imagine England saying, you know what, we're going to take 20 off you and one over. That's not going to happen. They're going to fall like Scott Boland will take 8 for 10 if England want to take that baseball approach to Boland on green tops. He already did that. He did that. He did that at the MCG. So I would play Scott Boland. I would play him 3 out of 5 tests. He only played 3 tests in the BGT. He
Ping
he
ball
averaged,
is a
he,
non-negotiable. Ping ball is a
yeah.
non-negotiable test.
He only played 3 test matches. He averaged 17. He took over 15 wickets in 3 test matches in that series.
His test career average is better than Bumrah. Is better than
Oh
any
yeah,
bowler existing in this world.
yeah. Because he's relentless. You know, any seam movement from the pitch, he'll get it. It's just a given. There's a lot of debate with Hazelwood Boland. Hazelwood is better on the average pitch, like hard,
Exactly.
the average pitch. But Boland is better on green tops than Hazelwood because Boland's more accurate
We
than
saw
Hazelwood.
that in Sydney as well, Lucas.
That's actually ridiculous to say. Imagine saying that a bowler's more accurate than Hazelwood. We all know what Hazelwood is as a bowler with his accuracy through the roof. But Boland is is like a laser beam. He bowls the ball off the ball outside off stump and nicks back with his seam with it. Comes back in, comes back out. It's just relentless. Batsmen can't deal with it. No one can. So to your point, yes, they should. They should play him at least 3 out of the 5 Test series. I'd love to see the England batsmen say, you know what, we're just going to blast throughout the attack on green top pitches. That would be really
I
humorous.
give a prediction as well. If Boland plays, he will just own Jaw Root because he has the angle, and Jaw Root gets trouble in him. And he should play, mate. I love him. He is the most unluckiest fast bowler to exist in this current Gen Z era. He is existing in an era where 3 great fast bowlers, 3 world champion fast bowlers who has won everything for Australian cricket. And okay, mate, I have to share some personal story. When I was covering this series, 5 test matches, I don't know why I covered BGT ball by ball. I didn't cover this series because I had a lot of things in the stuff to do as well in the hindsight. I saw a team who is playing cricket on the morals or on the paper or on the tactical wise. But in BGT, I saw a team who got boiled down by their media in the first test, who got boiled down by everyone. Bumrah was owning them. Everything was going apart. And they stood up and they just fought fire. And I don't know what the Aussies are made of. I got to know in this test, if there was Australia, it would have been a 4-0 scoreline because they wouldn't do the silly mistakes like Ben Stokes did and his team did. They just comes in and they just know one thing, how to win. Ben Stokes' team comes in and they just know how to enjoy, not to win. There is an enjoying mindset and there is a winning mindset. Australia comes up and they just comes win. Like Michael Jordan did in his whole career. He got triggered, he came in, he won everything, he left. This is what Australian players do. They came, they won, they go. And in Ashes, it will be a cracker. And my personal wishes, 2 wishes. First one I have told you, Scott Boland as a neutral. My friend is also I have another friend from Australia, Sydney, Ryan. We will have a show before the Ashes when it will come near. He says that for Australia and England, Ashes is bigger than anything. Bigger than a World Cup cricket final as well. Bigger than any cricket thing. It's like everything to them. It's like the pride. It's like if one team win Ashes, they would celebrate it like bigger than a World Cup final victory. So if I say in that context, I was saying what is in that. I have never covered an Ashes ball by ball. I have never covered fully tests. I've watched highlights. I watched some of the tests, but this time I am going to cover professionally Ashes
Yep.
2025-26 this summer, and we'll having a lot of live conversation. We'll having a lot of things, but let's wrap it up. Anderson Tendulkar Trophy. It was a fabulous series. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from the cricket pundits. I saw a lot of things that folded up. I saw a young Indian team who is in transition, and they have wrote a new chapter undoubtedly for their new cricket. One last thing, mate. My last wish is for Ashes, and the second wish, one last series of my favorite test batter, Steve Smith, 600. I need a 600 series,
Yeah.
run series with having 400s. Yes, Joe Root is scoring the runs, but I don't know when Steve Smith plays test cricket, it's an emotion. It's something that how he got banned and how he got came back. And that Sydney test where he was on 9,099, he got out from Krishna. He's an emotional lad. He and Joe Root as well. It will be interesting. At 600 series from Steve Smith, I want him to score. One last peak. Virat is gone. Now I don't have anyone to cherish. But I want Steve Smith to have a 600 series because Australian top order is shit. They are totally shit this time. And we have to talk about a lot of it, and we will talk coming near. Um, we'll see. We'll see a lot of things that will come in for Australia versus England. But if I say a prediction or some stuff from you, a playing 11 for Perth, if I propose you, what would you make changes? If I say that you open with Sam Constas and Marnus, you are not going to open with Khwaja. Constas and Marnus to open for you. Constas will be good in Australia. That's my theory. Cameron Green will be placed at 3. Steve Smith will be at 4. Number 5 will be Travis Hutt. Number 6 will be Bill Webster. Number 7 will be Pat Cummins. Number 8 will be Mitchell Stark. Number 9 will be Scotty B. Number 4 will be Josh Hazelwood. And if I'm missing someone, I think the wicketkeeper Alex Kelly. I think this will be
Yeah.
the first test playing 11 for you in the Perth. And if you want to add something, you can add, and then let's wrap it up.
They're gonna, yeah. I partially agree with you with what you just said with the 11. That's majority of the 11. There's going to be a tour. There's going to be 4 rounds of Sheffield Shield before the Ashes. There's also going to be a pink ball first class match between Australia A and England before the Ashes as well. That's going to be a pink ball match. There's rumours that they're going to put Constas, Khawaja, Labuschagne, who else? Bancroft to Harris. So all the openers in number 3, they're going to be put in that match as top order players. And it's going to be like some kind of batting off. You know, whoever makes the most runs will get into the team. Like we saw with the this year's BGT, McSweeney made the most runs in that tour match against India, and he got selected as an opener. Then, despite him not being an opener, which he's not, he's not an opener. He's number 3, number 4. Then they went with Constas because he scored runs against India in a Tour A match. He scored that fantastic 100. So there's going to be a similar situation where you'll get those players playing as a top order batsman. One that I'm going to give you a name here. Jake Retherall from Tasmania led the runs
I saw
last
him
year.
in Big Bash. Yeah, Adelaide Strikers. He played for.
Yeah, he's now he won't be playing for the Strikers this year. He'll play for the Hobart Hurricanes. But he's one to watch. He made the most runs last year in the Sheffield Shield at an average of 50 plus. Very good technician, very good stroke player. Can be aggressive at times. I actually know Jake very well. I used to train with Jake at club cricket with him up in Adelaide.
I hope you can initiate an interview as well with Jake.
Yeah. So maybe I'm being a little bit biased there, saying he might be the next Australian opener, but his stats don't lie. He was the leading run scorer last season in the Sheffield Shield. He's played a couple of matches for Australia A just recently, a couple of weeks ago against Sri Lanka, where he's done well. Then the last game he fell away a bit. So that's a name that you should really look out for. But like I said, they'll have that tour match before the Ashes, and we'll see who's going to make the most runs in that game, and they'll get picked. Also, the 4 rounds of Sheffield Shield, that's going to be very important as well. The good thing is, just on this, the good thing about that is they've cleared their schedule for the very first time. There's not going to be any white ball cricket tournaments on, no more ODI series. They've got an ODI series against India. After that, all red ball, all Sheffield Shield, then the Ashes, which is fantastic. So you'll get Steve Smith playing.
This is the seriousness of Ashes.
Oh, absolutely. This is how serious, seriously are. So you get Steve Smith playing Sheffield Shield. You get Nathan Lyon, Sheffield Shield. Cummins will play a Sheffield Shield game. Travis Head, Alex Carey. So this is the really good thing. And you mentioned, I'll answer your question on this. You mentioned, why is this rivalry so big? It's a traditional rivalry. This started in the 1800s. And the media, this series before, I'd say 2 months before this series starts, it'll be everywhere. It'll be in front pages, back pages, television adverts, commercials, radio.
So you're saying it will be a good experience for a rookie, for me as a cricket pundit, or I can say cricket correspondent for the first time to professionally cover Ashes.
Yeah, if you pay attention to the Australian media on Twitter, trust me, you will get a load of content with this series. You will get maximum content because it'll be everywhere. Every tweet will be about the Ashes. Every tweet will be about how Australia are going. It's just the way it is. For me, it's the biggest rivalry in this country as far as international goes. You've got AFL football and soccer. That's just state rivalries.
But mate, I have a question for you, out of question. Like, what is one thing that creates this rivalry very bizarre? Like, if someone earns $70,000 a month, I'm just saying an example, and if the ticket is $1 million, just an example, will he buy that ticket? Will he buy? Well, like, give me a example of this, like a layman, a normal human being. Why it is so much important for him? What sacrifices he do for this series?
It's kind of it's the culture of Australia sport, really. You just mentioned ticket prices. I know you were joking and spitballing, but I'll give you this, right? Every single test match, up to day 1 to day 3, is sold out. Every test match, day 1 to day 3. So Brisbane, Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide, sold out days 1 to 3. Melbourne, day 1, sold out. Day 2, sold out. So this and the tickets have gone up. The prices have gone up, and they're still selling out stadiums. I'm a Cricket Australia member. I pay money for a subscription. I couldn't even get day 1 tickets. That's how quick they went. I can't even get day 1 tickets at Adelaide Oval. I had to wait for day 2, day 3. So that's how big it is. It's in the culture of Australia sport. Without cricket in Australia, it's nothing. The sporting culture is dead in Australia. We've got AFL, which is a very popular sport in the winter, massively popular. You might have to Google that. AFL is our it's like our cricket in the
Rugby.
Yeah, and you got rugby and you've got soccer. All played in the winter though. But cricket
is
always been
in a tradition and in an excitement and in a culture. Cricket is the most popular sports in Australia.
In the summer, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. Absolutely. And it's got to do, the reason why, it's got to do with history. Traditionally, when you grow up as a young kid, you play your AFL, your rugby, your soccer in the winter. There's only one sport in the summer, that's cricket. You got no other choice. Yeah, you got your Australian Open, but cricket. That's the way it's been for 100 years. 100 years we've been playing cricket in Australia, and always in the summer. So it's history, it's culture, it's media. So all these things contribute is why cricket is the number one sport in the summer, and it's the only sport in the summer because nothing else is played in the summer, except for like the Australian Open. But that's just tennis. That's in internet, and I love my tennis, by the way. That's international. But cricket is dominated. TV ratings are through the roof. I'll tell you what, the Sri Lanka and Australia series, that's a dead series. That was completely dead. That drew 700,000 people on day one on the TV. That is unbelievable for a dead series. Like, doesn't matter if Australia won, they're still going to make the final of the World Test Championship. 700,000 people. That is unbelievable. That was in February. That's crazy, crazy numbers. But that's just the way it is in Australia. Culture, media hype, and history.
That is just mind-boggling stuff you have just told me. And this is what makes them the greatest team ever to play Test cricket, ODI cricket, and they respect the longer format of the game. That's why they get in return as well. It will be a cracking of a series. Two best captains. I will not say Ben Stokes is not a great captain. Pat Cummins versus Ben Stokes. It will be a sellout, and I'll be covering professionally. And I hope you will be joining me as well in this channel. We will have a lot of discussions as well around the Ashes. But in the meantime, they have to play Sheffield Shield. They have to sort out their combinations, and we'll see. But right now, for as a Pakistani, our focus is towards Asia Cup T20 cricket. Pakistan India is coming up 14th September. I would suggest you, if you suggest me cover Ashes, I would suggest you cover that T20 as well. It will be a fun. It will be fun. New Pakistan team without Babar Rizwan, young team. They are showing up good games. They have some grit. And young Indian team without Rohit and Virat. It will be fun. Thank you, mate. It's midnight in Australia. It's literally 3 a.m. I think in Australia, and you are sleep deprived. I think you should sleep. England played good, but India were on the top. Siraj earned everyone respect, and congratulations to every Indian cricket fan who has just joined the stream and have enjoyed our conversation. And it will be coming around a lot about. And we and Lucas are discussing, and I request to Lucas that Jake Weatherall is a friend of Lucas. I hope he comes in this channel as well, so we have a lot to talk about on him as well. So we request Lucas to bring him and have a cricket chat with him.
Absolutely, and I'll continue coming on here. Thank you so much for having me, and to your show. Thank you, really do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers. And I hope you like the coverage. If you want more type of podcasts like these, follow for Krishna. I have given my Instagram link as well. I have given my Twitter link as well. I have given my new TikTok link as well. I am making short form content, and I'm excelling in this field to make a name on cricket worldwide as a cricket correspondent and show my skills and just entertain you. Have a great night. Have a great life. Take care. And remember, Mayas and your prayers. We sign off with Lucas.